Hi, I'm Terry Carter, and welcome to our lesson today here at Uke Like the Pros. And this is going back to a course that I wrote called the 23 Ultimate Chord Progressions for, you guessed it, ukulele. So thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing and following and sharing these videos as we are growing the Uke Like the Pros site. Don't forget, if you want to grab the sheet music for any of this, just go to ukelikethepros.com, and this is all under the masterclass section, totally free, and you can also check out some of the other content that is up there. So ukelikethepros.com. So before we get started here, let's go ahead and grab some tuning notes. So first string here, A. Second string, E. Third string, C. And fourth string here, low G on my ukulele, or G. If you have a low or a high G, doesn't matter. We're all good on this lesson because we're just going to be strumming some chords. And the reason why we're doing these 23 ultimate chord progressions, there's a few reasons. First of all, by the time we finish this, we're going to know, there's actually going to be 26 total lessons, but 23 different progressions. You're going to know 23 progressions that are used in tons, that's maybe not all, but tons of your favorite songs. And each lesson is also going to introduce a new strum pattern. So in this, you're not only learning some different chord progressions, but you're also learning some different strum patterns. We'll be using our first finger, we'll be using our thumb for these different progressions. 2, it's going to help with your timing. We're going to play with some backing tracks, slow backing tracks, fast backing tracks, so your timing is going to get better. You're going to learn probably some new chord shapes that you haven't really thought about before. Some you may know and some you may not know. And we're just going to have a good time. So I have filmed all these lessons already, and it's part of the premium content. That's at ukelikethepros.com. That is going to have a pre-order sale starting real soon, so I'll let you know about that. But we are live, so feel free to ask a question or hit me up, and I will check the feed as we're going along. Okay, this first lesson, number 1, is going to be in the style of Knocking on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan. So when you get through with this progression, you're actually going to know how to play that particular song. So I was already playing it at the beginning, but let's jump into what's going on here. So first and foremost, let's grab our first chord here, and this is our G chord. Okay, so G chord. Now usually I'll go over every single fingering of this chord. For now, since I have it up on the screen, I'm just going to leave it there, and you let me know if you need help fingering them. Okay? Alright, so let's just stick with that particular chord right there, and let's jump to the strum pattern, because that's really the most important thing here of this song, is this strum pattern. Let's go ahead and use our first finger for this one. I'm just going to strum. Raise my ukulele up a little bit. Notice where I'm strumming roughly where the body and the neck of the ukulele meet, so right here. Alright, so this strum pattern is going to start off with a quarter note. That's going to be a downstroke, so that's beat 1, so it's 1. Then on beat 2, you have eighth notes. And eighth notes are going to get half of a beat each, and so you're going to strum down, up on 2. Beat 3 has a quarter note, which is a downstroke. And beat 4 has eighth notes, which is down, up. And as you look here, well, let's see, there's your quarter note, then that's beat 3, and then you got your eighth notes here on 2 and the and of 2, and then also over there on 4 and the and of 4. Alright, so let's do it again. 3, 4, so it's going to go down, then down, up on the G chord, then down, down, up, and that's it. Now on the downstroke for the G chord, you're going to hit all the strings, but on the upstroke, you really only have to hit maybe strings 2 or 2 and 3. You don't have to go out of your way to hit all 4 strings. All right, so let's play this rhythm here on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, or 1, 2, and 3, 4. Let's just keep going. What the heck? 2 and 3. Nice, relaxed wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay, so that's the basic rhythm. Of course, you could expand on it and do some different things with it, but that's the basic one that I want us to get down. So let's jump now to the next chord. So after the G chord, it's going to jump to the old D chord here. Okay. Now the one thing I will say about this D chord as far as the fingering is concerned is that I finger it slightly different than potentially some of you have seen it, or some you may see some other ukuleles players fingering it. And I learned this fingering from actually playing guitar when you're playing the A chord, because this is essentially what an A chord looks like on the guitar. And I learned this from my my classical flamenco teacher, David Oakes, one of the greatest teachers and persons out there. And he showed me this. What I do here is I take my first finger and I lay it flat over strings 4 and 3 at the 2nd fret. So I'm actually doing like a little bar here. And then my second finger is on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. And then just open 1st string. So I'm showing this to you because it's slightly different than some people like to finger it like this, I've seen. And some people like to finger it like this. And that's fine if that works for you. This happens to work for me, and it's really easy for me. So here's your D chord. And that's going to get a measure. So the G chord gets a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. And D chord gets a measure. 2, 3, 4. Then we go to the next chord. Right here. A minor. Check that one out. Remember, the minor chords have a sad or dark sound. All right, so A minor, and that's actually going to get 2 measures. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's check out this progression here. So if I just bring this up, and notice what these are. These rhythms here are whole notes. So they're different than what we did earlier. They're actually a diamond shape, which is how you write a rhythmic note in music notation. If you were just playing a whole note, it would be more of a circle, but this is a diamond shape indicating it's just a rhythm you're playing, and you're going to play whatever chord's written above. So it's G, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how I let that ring out for 4 beats, because that's a whole note. Then I go to D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I go to A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, and A minor again, 2, 3, 4. So what I want to do is just that. So notice on the screen here, right here, in this measure 4, there's no chord over the measure. And the reason for that is because in the previous measure, you're playing A minor. And since there's nothing in this measure, that just means you repeat A minor again. And that's what that means. You could write an A minor there, and I think sometimes I do. But by leaving it blank, this tells you it's A minor again. So here we go. We're going to play the first 4 bars, G, D, A minor with whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you could see my foot right now, it's tapping. So when we're playing these, whether we're playing slow or fast, I want you to tap your foot along with the beat. So if I'm tapping, and all what I'll do is I'll move my head so you can see, but this is what my foot's doing. 3, 4. From the G, 1, tap, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I learned that, and I know it's not a secret. I mean, people teach it all the time, so it's not a secret. But I learned it when I was doing a lot of studio work, and a particular engineer producer I was working with had noticed that I wasn't doing that a lot when I was doing some tracks, so he suggested me do it, and so I started to do it. Now, the downfall is, if you're recording in a studio, you can't tap your foot loud because it's going to get picked up in a mic. So a tip that I got one time from a good friend of mine and amazing guitar player and teacher at USC, Pat Kelly, told me that you could tap with your toes. So if you're doing a studio recording and you can't tap your foot on the ground, you can tap with your toes inside your shoe, and that's quiet. So maybe a cool tip for you. All right, we just finished the first half of this progression, G, D, A minor, A minor. So if we look on here to the next part of it, notice we have G again, D, so the same, and then instead of an A minor, notice the last two bars, can I go all the way over there? There you go. It goes to C chord. So instead of A minor, it goes to a C chord. So here's your C chord. Let me just pop that up here real quick. All right, there's your C chord. Okay, and so what that is pretty simple. Actually, I'm not going to show you. It's on the screen. Let me know, though, if you need more help with these chords. I'll be more than happy to help you. So this is one of our easier chords on the ukulele. And you're going to get the C for 2 measures. So let's do this right here. Starting at the second half measure, that's measure 5. So G, D, C, and C. 2, 3, 4. So we got G, and 2, and to the C chord. 2, 3, 4, and C. 2, 3, 4. Notice how different that C chord sounds. Kind of bright and happy versus that A minor, which is a little darker and sadder. Okay, so let's see if we can play this whole progression now, exactly what's on the screen. G, D, A minor, G, D, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this whole note is nice and simple. 2, 3. Now A minor. 2, 3, and again. 2, 3. Now back to G, and 3, 4, and now here's that new chord C, and 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's not the rhythm, but that's all the chords. So if you got that, nice job. All right, I'm going to check in real quick, see if anyone's checked in or has a question at this point. Feel free to do that. And, oh, there I am. Okay, hello. Where am I? Okay, hey. Chris is here, and my Aunt Loretta's checking in from up in Oregon. And there is a question. These chord progressions are the same for guitars. So yes, so if you have a guitar, you can take these same progressions and play them, except for on the guitar, the shapes are going to be different, right? So on guitar, this shape, which is our G shape on the ukulele, is actually a D chord on the ukulele. Our D chord on the ukulele on the guitar is an A shape. And then the A minor chord on the ukulele is like an E minor shape. So yeah, so just as long as you know the proper shapes on a guitar, yeah, you can transfer this to guitar, transfer it to piano, you can transfer it to anything you want. Mandolin, steel guitar, xylophone, harp, whatever you want. Okay, so good question. Now, what I want to do now is I want to jump in here with this next rhythm here, which is going to be this now, okay? So this is actually the rhythm of the song. Remember when we did this? Okay, this down, down, up, down. So now we're going to try to apply this to the entire progression now. So G, D, A minor, and then remember G, D, and C. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so so we're going to try that now with the entire progression. So let me bring this back up. Oh, I got a check-in from Rebecca. 12-year-old daughter is learning from these. Awesome. Thanks for checking in, Rebecca. Don't think I've seen you before, so welcome, and you and your daughter. Okay, so here we go. Let's try this now. No backing track yet, although those are coming. Here we go. We're going to now try changing the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and slow. So G to the D. Now here's your A minor for 2 measures, right? Now we go back to G. Now D. Now we go to our C chord. Now notice there's repeat signs, so we do the whole thing again. Now back to G. Switching chords may be tough. That's usually the problem that we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, while maintaining this steady beat or this steady rhythm. That's very important to follow exactly what I'm doing. 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. Okay, so as I was talking while I was playing, which is good to do if you if you can talk and play, then it really means that you're understanding these chords and the rhythm, because it's almost automatic where you don't have to think about it. All right, now I have these awesome backing tracks, and so I want to play with the backing tracks now. This is going to be the slow backing track. This is 65 BPMs. That's beats per minute. I think we're going to do it 4 times. I'll call it out, but I think it's 4 times through the whole progression. I'll help you out. So here we go. From the top, 1, 2, make sure you're tapping your foot, rocking your head. 1. Now D. Now here's your A minor. Now if this is too hard for you, you can just do whole notes, right? Just simplify it. 3, 4, 2, 3. Now here's your C chord. 2, 3. Now one more time on the C chord. And now we're going to repeat the whole thing. If that's easy, maybe half notes, right? 1, 2, 3. Now the D chord. 1, 2, 3. Now see how we're building up the rhythm? If it's too hard for you. 4, 1, 2. How about quarter notes? So G. C. Now we're going to repeat it again. We're going to go 2 more times. Now I'm going to play the actual rhythm now. Now here's your A minor. Notice where we are in the progression. 1, 2, 3. Now G. Nice and relaxed. You gotta hit right on that beat. Now we're gonna play it again, last time. Rock your head if you want to. And smile. That's key when you're playing the ukulele. That's right, we're here. Have a good time. And the last 4 bars. Now here's your C chord. And on the G chord. Okay, so that's just a slow progression or slow backing track. You want to make sure that you can play it at that speed. Maybe that's easy for you, and maybe it's hard. Everyone's at a different spot, so don't worry about it. We need to build up and get faster and faster. So as I mentioned, that's at 65 beats per minute. And before we play with the fast backing track, I just want to do a little shout out here. I do all my lessons here with the Koaloha ukulele, and this is a tenor, and I do have a pickup in this particular one, and so Brian and the guys at Koaloha are extremely nice to me and provide me with these beautiful instruments that I play. So just want to give a shout out to them. So that way you also know what instruments I'm playing. And all right, so I guess we're ready for the fast backing track. And I guess I have one more thing, just because it's on my mind, I want to mention that we have a music theory workshop coming up this Saturday. It's online from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at ucollectorpros.com. You can sign up for that. And if you can't make it, you can still register, and then you can watch the replay when it's done. So I'm looking forward to that. Just a couple days left, and we'll be doing that. So excited. Okay, fast backing track. Shall we do it? I say we shall. This is 100 beats per minute, by the way, just in case you want to know. We're going to do it 4 times. Notice it's a little faster. 2, 3, and... Yeah, this is a little faster, right? Notice my wrist. Notice how loose my wrist is when I'm strumming. Nice and relaxed. Still using my first finger here. Halfway there. 1, 2, top. One more time. Here we go. And right there on a G chord. So that's going to do it for our first lesson in the 23 ultimate chord progressions for the ukulele. Thank you for being here and all your support. I'm Terry Carter, and we'll see you in the next lesson.